Yo, what's going on, guys? My name is Clive with a V, aka Swaytech on Instagram, and what you see behind me is my 2013 Infiniti G37x. So I've been putting this off for a while. A handful of people have told me to do a video going over all the things I've done to my car so far. I personally don't feel like I've done that much things to warrant doing a video like this, but I'm about to go to a rally in New York, and I figure, hey, who knows what might happen? Might throw my car off the side of a mountain. So before I get upset that I never shot this video, let me do it now before I actually throw my car off the side of a mountain. Without further ado, let's get into it, and what better way to start than with what's going on the outside of the car. So as you can easily see, or maybe you can see right now, this side, not reflective, that side's reflective. Why? So I got the car wrapped. It was originally silver. I'm just talking like the OEM Infiniti silver gray, whatever the fuck you want to call it. I don't know the code or the color code for it, but yeah, it was silver. I now have it wrapped in satin black on the left side and gloss black on the right. I believe it's Avery satin. I might be wrong, but yeah, pretty much if you're trying to go for a similar look, this is satin black, that side gloss black. And then what I also did as a little accent, which I'll show right now, you'll notice that this is satin, this is gloss, and then I also did the same thing with the door handle. So this whole panel is satin, then the door handle, as you can see, shiny gloss. But then to keep that inverted theme going, if you look on this side, so we see everything is gloss. You can see my reflection. Check out the fresh kicks. Boom, what are those? Right? So now you can see this door handle, satin, and this mirror cap or mirror whatever, satin. And then I believe we also did, yes we did. If you look up here very carefully, you'll see we also did the same exact thing with the antenna. So when I first got this car, I knew I was gonna do some color scheme of all black, right? But I didn't exactly know if I was gonna go gloss, satin, or just straight dead matte, which is like a chalkboard, which I'm happy I didn't do that. But then I remember seeing some kid's car on Instagram where he had one side like a marble pattern, like a white marble, and the other side was satin black or gloss black or some shit like that. I actually found out that kid lives in Florida. I saw him at a car meet, so I'll throw his page up now. So yeah, it's a Genesis with a two-phase wrap is basically what they call it. Some people call it two-tone. When I think two-tone, I think paint where it changes and it color shifts. So this is a two-phase wrap of gloss black and satin black, and that's pretty much as far as that wrap goes. As far as who did the wrap, I'm gonna leave that part out because they did a pretty shitty job, which I'll go over in another video later, but let's just keep this all positive. Now, next, the other big thing which everyone likes to go over or has problems figuring out or always needs help with is wheels and tires, right? My wheel specs, hashtag what are your wheel specs? Mine are, I'm running, first of all, these are niche Misanos in 20. So I'm running them in a 20 by 10.5 wide, square setup all around. Pull up some of my eye. Yeah, 20 by 10.5 all around with a positive 30 offset. To get my fitment where it's at right now, which it's not the greatest fitment in the world, but it's good enough for my purposes. And well, actually that's pretty fucking bang on if I do say so myself, you know. And then let's just go to the back, which it still tucks. So if you're curious if it will tuck, if you're running a 20 by 10.5 with a positive 30 offset, it does indeed tuck. You still have to wrap your wheels in some type of tire, right? Once you get the wheel fitment done, you're not completely done yet. You're not out the woods. So I'm running NT555 G2s. Those are Nitto tires. They're summer tires. I live in Florida, so I didn't really need to get any all seasons. But if I were to, I probably would have got the Continentals. The front tires, I'm running a 255 35/20, so that is a stretch. I'll show you right now. So yeah, as you can see, there's a stretch, and if you look really carefully, it's kind of, there's a slight poke, right? Slight poke to the wheels, but nothing too aggressive. Probably not gonna be able to go through an automatic car wash anymore though, just because, well, you're gonna scuff the shit out the rim of your wheel. So probably don't do that. And then on the rears, I actually have a slightly different setup. So as you can see here, this one is not as much of a stretch. It's a little bit meatier of a setup. Not exactly a full-on meaty setup, but it's a lot meatier than the front. The reason for that is I'm running a 285/30/20 on the back. Main reason for that was just because I was still losing some grip on the back end. Even though my car is all-wheel drive, it's pretty good with grip. But there was a couple of times where I'm flying around a corner, trying to drive a little, you know, spirited off-road use in Mexico, wherever you want to say I'm using it. But yeah, the accent would kick out, so went to the 285s, and I've honestly had no problems. Like even before, when I was running 255s square setup all around, I would have issues where even if I was pulling off from shifting into first into second, and the car is automatic, before you guys flame me, yes, it is automatic. But shifting from first to second on a 0 to 60 pull, I would still hear the tires screech between first to second. Now I don't get that anymore. The car grips like a fucking beast. I can fly around turns. It feels like the shit got Velcro tires, or I'm on like a magnetic rail. It feels fucking amazing. To get your fitment dialed in, what I have is Nissan Misanos in 20 by 10.5s, positive 30 offset with Nitto NT555 G2s. Front tires are 255/35 20s, back tires 285/30 20s. And to get the fitment sorted out, you need to get, or well, I had to get SPC front upper control arms, SPC rear lower control arms, and SPC rear toe bolts. But after that, I'm good. I haven't had any problems. I got everything right into spec where I wanted it, which is the front. I wanted it, actually no, all my camber all around is, I have a -1 up front, -1.5 degrees in the back, just because I'm gonna be doing some twisties. So I still need some camber just so when the force starts going outwards, tires in the flat, yada yada, it feels good and all grippy and all that good shit. So that's as far as the wheels and tires go. And then you probably noticed it's tucked like that. No, I'm not one of those slam boys that drives like that. I respect you guys and all the math you do, but I'm not gonna do that to my car because I actually like driving. Shots fired maybe, who knows? Anyway, yeah, so the reason it's tucked like this right now is because I'm running air suspension. It's gonna be the Airlift 3, or the Airlift V3 kits, or the Generation 3, whatever. I originally had the 3H installed. One of my height sensors snapped off, so I'm basically just running on the 3P kit. It's the same shit really, especially because I'm in Florida. Temperatures don't move around too much, so I really don't need the height sensors. And I'm also only ever driving by myself, so I really don't need to be using the height sensors right now, so I'm not really stressing that I'm running the P kit. Last thing I guess on the exterior to show is this mesh grill. So this was just literally some cheap ass eBay part. I think I got it for like 150 bucks or something. It's cool as shit. And it's matte or whatever, so it kind of like flows with the whole satin thing going on here. That wasn't intentional, honestly. It just happened to go really well, so fuck it. And then you'll also notice I got these long tube intakes poking through. So what better time to transition to talking about performance than now? So actually, let me open up the hood. Let's see, can I do this in one shot? It's really hot. Hot. Okay, so as far as performance goes, you'll notice I got these two big ass intakes. This is VQ37, so before you ask me, no, these are not admin tuning intakes. These are from a company in New York, a shop in New York, Real Auto Dynamics. Now before you say, oh, the only ones to get it from is fucking admin tuning, yes, okay, they might have been the first to do it. It doesn't mean they're the best at it, doesn't mean they're the worst at it. I'm not here to get into that debate, but yeah, so I have custom long tube 3-inch intakes fabricated for my car. They came out lovely. I like it just because of this. They're a little offset right now, but I don't feel like taking off my hood to get, not my hood, my bumper to get behind there, so they shall remain like that, but it looks badass from the front. So I love these intakes. Also, you'll see here, I have the Motordyne M370 upper intake plenum. The reason I went with the Motordyne one as opposed to the Z1 Motorsports one is when I looked through the forums, one guy went and had pretty much a full thread about the differences between the two of them. He said this one pretty much, it's really good in the mid-range for power and torque, but it kind of pretty much, he said in his words, it falls flat on its face at the high end. I'm not really drag racing my car, and the whole purpose of this car is I like being able to fly around turns, which is why I'm going on a rally in Virginia, because there's nice twisty roads. So I would rather have the mid-range than the upper end. I mean, I'd rather have both, honestly, but hey, you can't have everything, right? So Motordyne M370, so I could get some nice mid-range action, which according to my butt dyno after I got this installed, it's definitely doing some good things right now. And then what you can't see under here is I also have some Deachwork fuel injectors installed, because part of the package when you get the intakes done at RAD, Real Auto Dynamics, is that they upgrade the fuel injectors pretty much so you can deliver a fuel to compensate for the amount of air that you are now bringing in, because these things are massive in comparison to the stock intakes. So upgraded fuel injectors, and then I also got a tune. So the software they used was UpRev. I know the other one that we like to hear with VQs is EcuTech. My tuner just went with UpRev. That's what he likes for NA cars. He likes EcuTech for boosted cars. My car's still NA, so I really don't need to be running EcuTech as per my tuner, and it's his, what's it called? That's what he does for a living. I'm not gonna try to argue or debate him. I'm gonna just let him do his thing. Take the advice of your tuner. Don't think you know more than them, because this dude probably does it for a living. So I'm assuming he would know more than you or me or anybody else that's going through the forums, unless they're a tuner. So that's as far as what goes under the hood. Let's just take a look at the back now. So there you go. You'll notice I'm running these two big ass, nice, symmetrically looking, pretty ass exhausts. My exhaust on this car is fully done, fully built exhaust. So straight up long tube headers and catback, all built by Fast Intentions. Fast Intentions exhaust take about 3 months to make for when you do the catback, and another 3 months for the long tube headers. I did it separately. If I placed the whole order at once, it would have just been 1 3-month shop, but I separated them because I'm not baller enough to just knock that all out at once. I went with the option of the 12-inch resonator just because I still wanted it to be raspy, but just not crazy raspy, because I like an aggressive sound. But you know, I don't want to sound like a trumpet, because we all know VQs have a tendency to sound like trumpets and you straight pipe them. So I'm not going through that. So yeah, long tube headers, full catback, Fast Intentions. And then I think that's as far as the engine and that kind of performance shit goes. That's as far as that went. And I guess now let's take a look at the interior, which I've done enough things to where I guess it looks, ooh, actually, wait, I'm forgetting something. Air suspension means trunk setup. Now, before I get into this, the trunk setup is not anything crazy wild. I got my air suspension done at the custom shop in Astoria, Queens in New York, right? So all I'm running is, I just really wanted a basic ass setup because I wanted to still use my car as a daily, right? So I like having trunk space. I can still haul hella groceries in here. Like, I'm talking hella groceries in here, right? So all I'm running is one 2.5 gallon tank and one VI Air 444C compressor. And also you'll notice that the tank is painted. So, well, not painted, it's powder coated. The color is Illusion Cherry Red. Let me see if I can darken it up, because it kind of looks weird in this. It looks a lot better in the light, trust me. It's just take my word for it. Yeah, so pretty much when I told him to build the setup, I said I wanted to pretty much have most of my trunk, so just shove this shit in the back in this little pocket here and give me access to my spare. That's when I used to run a spare. Now, honestly, I just do it like this and put all my random shit, boots for work and yada, 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 all underneath that spot. So now we can go to the inside. So it comes with a free iPhone. No, it doesn't. This interior looks slightly different from stock. So what's going on here is I have this steering wheel, which was built by Carbon Fiber Elements. You can find them on Instagram. I'll put the link to where I got everything down in the description below, or I'll link it all. I'll link all the pages if you're looking at this on Instagram and the IGTV thing. So yeah, steering wheel was built by Carbon Fiber Elements. This is real carbon fiber, before anybody tries to hose me and say, oh, this is just like a sticker. No. So the way I had him do it was, you could pretty much, the sky's the limit with customizing with that dude. So I just went with straight regular carbon fiber, black stitching over here, and then for the little top stripe, you could opt out of it. I wanted it, I just didn't want it to be too loud and hot boy, so I just went and had it black. So it's subtle, you see it, but it's not really like sticking out in your face. I also had my shift knob made by the same exact guy, Carbon Fiber Elements. Find them on Instagram. And then one of the cool things that I love, which I don't know, everybody else thinks is really cool, but like I'm kind of used to it now, but I still love it, I guess. Oh, what am I saying? I fucking love this. Is my Airlift controller. So there's the controller, but you see it's in the cup holder. But a lot of people think, oh man, why would you sacrifice your cup holder? Wrong. I still have full access to my cup holder, and then I still have access here. So if you're parking in a sketchy area, you're like, let me not let them know that I got that much money in the car. Hide that shit, no one knows. And then it's just a nice, I don't know, man, this shit is just sleek. Because lots of people make a weird thing up here to hold it, right? But then you kind of lose your cigarette lighter in this cool little tray, which I guess you could put, like, I don't know, drugs in, right? But this is cool as shit. I like this, right? So that's as far as that goes. And then for the rest of the interior, I blacked out the trim. So before, this came with like a cheesy brushed aluminum. I'll throw a picture up of that now. Right, I hated that. I hate chrome. I hate brushed aluminum cars. Like, I'm just not a fan of them. So I had my boy Chris, I'll put his Instagram and all that shit and his YouTube channel in the description also. I had him paint all the interior trim black. So black here, black on the little ring there. What's it called? All the interior trim. So this on the door, on the handles, all that shit. I had him do everything black just because I wanted the car to look sleek. I don't like the shit being that much in your face. So yeah, that was kind of the logic on the interior. And then, you know, I got this nice air freshener because, you know, I like my car smelling like ass. You feel me? So this is my 2013 G37x coupe. My goal with this car will be, and has always been, to build a car that's a cool daily. So basically something that you can live with, you can drive, you can pick up the kids if you have kids. I don't, because my pullout game's strong. You can pick up the groceries, you could do all that shit. But then if you want to get a little saucy, you want to get a little spicy, you can get on that, and this thing will you'll have some fun with this car. I have fun. There's some days it surprises me with how much it just wants to pick up. Yeah, so I always wanted to just make it just a badass daily, and I think I've done that so far. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And then before I end this, I just want to give shout outs out to the people who pretty much put work into this car. First things first, got a shout out to the custom shop, which you also might have noticed. I don't know if it's picking up on camera properly. I have their logo embossed underneath. Previously there was a decal laid on with their logo, and then I had it wrapped over it because I didn't want to get rid of it, because that's like my last thing as a New Yorker. Real Auto Dynamics, as in the people who did all my performance and all the tuning and shit. Those guys are absolutely amazing. If you're in New York, the tri-state area, and you want to do anything that you've seen I've done here, so whether you want to do wraps or bags or any of that cool shit, check out both of those shops. That's pretty much the only two places you ever need to go if you live in New York and you have a VQ. If you want to make that shit go fast, hit up RAD. You want to make that shit pretty, you want to make it sit nice, go to the custom shop. Ask for Brett if you're at the custom shop. Ask for Alex if you're at RAD. Those dudes are the best. I back them to the day I die. Solid fucking dudes. And then, yeah, without further ado, let me just see if we can get some nice flames popping out. I hope we can see them, and then we're gonna get out of here right after I do that, because that's the kind of shit that will warrant police getting called, and I don't really need to do that. My melanin count's a little too high. Police don't like this for some reason nowadays. Actually, I'm not gonna get political, so I'll see y'all later. Peace.